Yes, guys, welcome back to the KAPE Pause channel. Fresh Vaseline lips. You know, we can't have dry lips on this channel. You already know. And today I'm just going to talk about a few topics that I just really need to talk about before we get into the City game and the previews in the next couple of videos. But the topics today are Christian Mosquera, or shout out to BBK as he calls him, Christian Mosquera. The fact that Max Dowman is actually part of the first team. And just a bit of a worry for me with the Ben White injury and the question around Jurrien Timber. So if you're new or you're returning, you haven't already hit the subscribe button. I'm going to go to 2,000 subs. Smash the like button down below. And comment down below if you agree or disagree with anything I say in this video. But let's just start off with the main man, Christian Mosquera. I spoke about him when I profiled him in my player profile videos, stuff that I do on my channel quite regularly. So check them out if you're interested in that kind of documentary type video. But I spoke about how he's so important, so pivotal, so his signing is so big for the main reason of the fact that he covers one of, if not the best player in our team, or arguably one of the best players in our team, is Saliba, and how for years Arsenal haven't had adequate depth, a more natural replacement competition, someone that's more reliable that we can put in to allow Saliba to not be relied on every game. In the 23-24 season, Saliba played all Premier League games, which is amazing. Centre backs, you want to have your centre back pairing playing as much as possible. But the season before that, he sustained that back contusion injury that had him out after the Sporting game and saw us playing Rob Holding, which to me was the cause of our title hunt going down. And you saw last season, towards the end of the season, Saliba's got I think it was a hamstring injury, and we saw, Calafiori and Kivior being used there, but it's unideal. And Arsenal have addressed this season, but cool, it's all good bringing in a player that can play in that position and kind of covering that numbers wise. But seeing his first 4 performances in this season for Arsenal, anyways, wow! I have nothing short to say, but this guy is amazing. And obviously, we don't want to get carried away. We don't want to put too much pressure on him. Everyone's talking about him right now, and rightfully so, because he's playing great. Saliba's been out, he's come in, and we haven't looked anything different in terms of the defensive side of the game, in terms of box defending, in terms of our build up on the ball. If anything, he's taken some riskier passes and done some things that is interesting. And it doesn't look like pressure's got to him. He's played in Anfield, tough away ground, played in that Bilbao game. The atmosphere was amazing. Obviously, yes, being a Valencia or ex-Valencia player, he's played in that ground many a time. He understands the atmospheres. But playing for Arsenal, they expect to see our first Champions League game. We were under the pressure in that game, and he's come up great. His first, obviously, came on in the Leeds game, I think, quite late after, just kind of get some minutes, I think, to give, if I'm correct, Timber a break. But since he came on against Liverpool, played in the Forest game, and now the Bilbao game, he's pulled out a 7.1 rating against Liverpool, a 7.6 rating against Forest, and a 7.3 rating against Bilbao. And he's been amazing. The line breakers, the calmness he shows on the ball to wait for a press to come in and then playing a line breaker or around the corner pass. The clearances in the box with the aerial duels, his box defending, and just his ability to defend out wide, his aggressiveness in the duels as well, and just this overall calmness. He gives me calmness. I also have gone through a time where we used to have players that, your Mustafis, your Socrateses, David Luiz, even to an extent, Rob Holding, players that just don't give you calmness when they're on the ball, and then when they're defending, especially in their box, you're scared that they might just dang out a leg or do something silly or score an own goal, or just don't dominate their area. And he dominates his area. 20-year-old, 13 million still, 13 million pounds still. Berta, stand up. I'm telling everyone to stand up these days, but stand up. And just a big credit to him, to shout him out. Obviously, Saliba is back from fitness, so it'll be interesting to see who I pick for the starting position in the City game. But as I said, knowing that we have good options in all positions, it allows us to know that we can, when everyone's fit, we can rotate sweetly without anyone getting injury. So shout out to Christian Mosquera, 13 million pounds still, and I just hope he continues to elevate from gear to gear as the season goes on. But moving on, Max Dowman. Obviously, the Arsenal squad pictures came out yesterday. Obviously, that little photo they do in that training ground where they're all sitting. You kind of see the players that are around Mikel kind of identify the leadership group. The players around him was Odegaard, Saka, then it was Rice and Gabriel. Then I think further down was Timber and Marino. So you can tell that's the leadership group. Obviously, I don't think that means Jesus has been demoted because he's not playing. That's the situation. But we also saw in the background, as you see in the top right next to Lewis Skelly, Max Dowman. 15 years old, and this officially tells me that he's part of the first team. Yes, maybe he might not play in every game. Yes, there may be times he might play in 21s because one, he's eligible to play in that, and two, he's of age and just to get minutes. But I think he definitely is going to be used a lot. I expect him to probably get used against Port Vale next week. who knows from the start, but if Saka's not back, you can't play Madueke in every game, and that would be the kind of game that you can put Max Dowman in my opinion. And it's just lovely to see that we have that this talent is getting profiled before he's even signed his pro contract. I don't like, yeah, before he's signed a pro contract or even a scholar. I'm pretty sure he's already here, loaded, playing first team minutes, being part of the first team and respected. And he's trained with the first team all the last season, similar to how Ethan and Miles did it the season before they made their breakthrough last season. So it's nice to see. Obviously, I want to see him get some more minutes. I think the last time he came on was against Liverpool. He hasn't come on in the last couple of games, which is fine. You have to manage a young talent like that, which Mikel's doing, and we've got a big squad, huge competition. So yeah, he's got to earn his place as well and earn his time. But it's lovely to see that we have this magician and that type of wild card type talent that we can bring through. He's young. He's not gonna have any fear. We've seen the way he plays, ability to draw fouls, ability to draw penalties. He has a lot more creativity than we've even seen in terms of his passing ability. I think he's a natural 10, but it's nice that he's been used out there on the left, on the right, my apologies, because it allows him to go against that fullback who necessarily are not in that compact midfield where it can be a bit physical, especially in the Premier League. And yeah, man, just shout out to Mikel. Like, he's profiling the new, or he's been criticised about his use of the academy or young players and fresh talent. But I feel like since he's come to the team, he's brought through so many players, or used so many players. You know, your Nketiahs, your Reece Nelsons, your Joe Willocks, your Sakas, your Smith Rowes. Then you go on to your Lewis Skelly's, your Wanieris. You tried to bred in Patino, didn't really work out, and then obviously now Dowman, and we'll see if Mari Salmon follows that same suit in the future. So just credit to that, man. I'm so excited to see this guy play, man. Obviously, I will try and cover him on a profile video, see what he can bring to the team, different to our other right wingers in terms of Madueke and Bukayo Saka, of course. But yeah, big shout out to that, and I'm happy to see that he's part of the first team, man. Our squad looks nice. When you're looking at that picture, look at it. Like Jesus there, who hasn't played, Havertz, who hasn't barely played. You got Norgard, who barely played, Ben White barely played. You look at all the players around, options. Ethan's only got, moments here and there. Miles only moments here and there. Like, we've got a good team, man. A very, very good team, man. Bukayo Saka, after the first two games, he's not been here. Like, our team is good, man. Good. That looks like a Champions League winning squad, and I think we're gonna be ending the season being the Premier League champions. But we might not be Premier League champions, or we might have a tough season if this problem continues to persist. Obviously, I want to speak about Ben White and his need to get fit, because obviously he started the season and I think he had an excellent preseason. I said he was my player of the preseason, and I was happy to see Ben White look back to his fitness. But since after the United game, he's had some niggly injuries here and there. He was on the bench against Forest, and didn't travel with the squad against Bilbao, and I don't expect him to start, or who knows, he will be available against Man City, or if he will be ready. But I think my fear is obviously Jurrien Timber, off the back of an ACL injury in the 23-24 season, played a lot of games last season, and we heard that he was playing on injections, playing through pain. He had to go through that clean-up surgery on his ankle towards the end of the season. And again, I've had many injuries, and I don't mean that because I've had injuries, I know, but I feel very fearful just going through that again. Obviously, yes, we have coverage in terms of maybe Mosquera can play there, but we don't have that natural player like we had Partey last season that could fill into that role. Tomiyasu was an option even though he wasn't available. So Ben White needs to prove his fitness, or is a real question. Obviously, who knows if Josh Nichols would be an option to be used there, but it's just a thing we need to keep an eye on, because you know what I'm saying, we're getting to the 3 game weeks now, and obviously Timber did sustain a little not knock or challenge. That first half was a physical game. It's gonna be another physical game against the likes of Doku on Sunday against City. So yes, he'll get his rest against Port Vale, but we've got St James's Park again, another ground. We need, like, they expect to see was Ben White, and Timber will be rotating, so that needs to be sorted out, because I don't want Timber to sustain any injuries, or then that kind of derails our season, because he's not arguably, to me, he's the best right back in the world going forward. I think he offers a lot of stuff, comfortable in possession, real baller, but then defending, the love to defend, that tigerish, stubborn bulldog type nature that wingers can't get past, strong in his jewels, and just that composure to keep the ball. I love it, man. So that's all I got for you guys today. Comment down below what you think about what I said. Christian Mosquera, how do you feel about him? Max Dowman, actually part of the first team. How many games do you think he'll play? Comment down below. And do you also feel like it's a concern that Ben White has already got some injuries, given what happened last season and with Timber's injury history as well? Yeah. It's been your boy KAPE. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Speak soon.